Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another live stream on the channel. League One Live. We've had a pretty hectic weekend. I was at a League One game Saturday. My first League One game, less said about that, the better. In person, that is, as well. But no, great to be back at League One. I've missed it. It reminded me very much of Fleetwood yesterday, being in the certain end I was in as well. But to join me is the co-host. Hello, Jake. How are you, son? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. My ego's a bit bruised from yesterday afternoon, but But I don't know if you can hear that really loud buzzing that's going on in my flat right now. But no, I'm all right, mate. Thanks. It was nice to spend the weekend with you. You got schooled again at 5-a-side, didn't you? You got beaten. I scored, 3 times as many goals as you did. Mathematically,
no, but my
correct,
goal was
Ben.
better.
No,
you didn't get the ball outside your feet and score.
Disagree. When you're on the winning team, Ben, your goals mean more, and I was on the winning team, and my goals meant more. So,
however, we know my team won, but next goal wins.
Unfortunately, you lost, Ben, which is a shame for you. But yeah, no, it was good, mate. It was nice. We had a nice trip up to Huddersfield, didn't we? With flowers. We had some nice. Mate, how good was that chicken? I mean, it was huge, but how good was that? Like, we went to Marston's chicken shop in Huddersfield. And normally when you get a fillet of chicken, I would know because we normally get a KFC on the way home from an away day. You get like a tiny little fillet. Nappers, how big were these fillets that we had yesterday?
Oh, they were big. They were big.
They were huge. You can put them in your hands like that, which is I'm quite used to doing.
Yeah. Of course you are.
But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm looking forward. It's been a fairly decent but unpredictable game week in League One this week. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm a bit jaded, I'll be honest with you. Everything that could be wrong with my body this weekend is wrong.
We are going to do an hour show tonight, aren't we, Ben? We're not going to do an hour and a half.
Can I just also confirm it will be an hour show? It has absolutely nothing to do with anything that is on the TV this weekend. However, before we do start, we do need to talk to the comments and check out the comments as well and see if we've got any big fishes in the comments down below as well. Come on now.
Has anyone double commented, Ben?
Hello, Ian. I hope you're well. Exactly. Get liking that stream as well. Hello, David. Hope you are well, mate. Looks like Matt Taylor has been sacked by Bristol Rovers. We will have a chat about that later in the stream. Hello to Sue. Hello to Chris, as always, as well. I like this. I put on yesterday, every year you have Christmas, you have a birthday, you have Monday to Sunday, and you have Wigan beating Bolton Wanderers. No better place to start.
You didn't predict it.
Bolton Wanderers 0. Have you actually counted the score predictions up this weekend?
No, for the most part.
Yeah,
I've got up to before the weekend because I had 3 weeks to do. And let me tell you,
when I'm talking, you can start counting. Bolton Wanderers 0, Wigan Athletic 2. Prior to this one, Wigan had just won one of their last 6 away games in Sky Bet League One, drawing 3, losing 2, failing to score in 4 separate matches in that time. Bolton Wanderers now are wins in their last 8 league matches against the Ticks, losing 5 of which as well. And they haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 15 matches against Wigan Athletic, and Wigan winning 5 of the last 6 in Sky Bet League One. A couple of 4-0 results and 2-0 over Bolton in recent years in those 5 wins in 6. Bolton Wanderers, 26 points, Jake, from the last 13, winning 8, drawing 2, losing 3. Ian Evans said it's an absolute disrespect that there's a pile-on from their supporters. My issue is Bolton Wanderers are only beaten sides because they are better as individuals and as a team than the opposition. The record against the top 12 isn't too bad. 4 wins, 3 defeats, 1 loss. Realistically, needs to be better than that. The record against kind of the bottom half, 5 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats. If you actually go against the top 16, like up to 16, Bolton Wanderers have lost 6 out of the 12 games they played against teams 16th and upwards. That's a worry for me. They look like they've got no identity. They look like they're playing without freedom, and they don't look the same side as they once did. Ian Everett feeling the pressure, sacked in the morning from all 4 corners of the ground yesterday.
Yeah, do you know what, Ben? It's almost like someone on this call called that Wigan were going to win 2-0 yesterday. Remember who that was? Yeah.
Yeah, things right now and again.
Every now and again, but yeah, no, I completely agree with you. This Bolton team lack an identity. They lack. So I feel like they're massively not just not playing forever. I feel like some of the players are just playing poorly to try and get him sacked, to try and get themselves a boost going into the new year and the festive period. But yeah, to be fair, it's all well and good saying how bad Bolton were, but Wigan deserved massive credit yesterday. I thought they were excellent out of possession. They needed to be out of possession a lot because we know Bolton under Ian Evatt like to dominate it, and out of possession, you've got to be really good against them to win. And they were. They were absolutely fantastic. They stuck to the shape well. They countered and they scored the 2 goals really well. It does leave you wondering what Bolton are going to do. You'd be surprised if Ian Evatt's in the job this time next week, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised. Absolutely disagree with that. He's got the safest job in football.
I know.
Sharon will not sack Ian Evatt.
I think his job is getting untenable. I don't know if you've seen the picture on circling around social media of, I don't know who it is. Bolton fans will be able to let me know.
Amy?
But there's a woman absolutely shouting her hot off
Amy?
at Ian Evatt. Eh?
I think it's a girl called Amy.
Amy?
Yeah, it's just for you, Amy. Have you not seen that video?
No.
Well, anyway, if you know, you know. That's all I'll say. The video,
you never untenable, Ben, because all 4 sides of the ground were singing that yesterday. I think, whilst Bolton are in a good league position, I think it's clear that performances have not been good enough. And Bolton are a football club. We speak to the fan zone a lot. We speak to Colin. Maybe he's trying to wind me up, but he's trying to. Oh, Nappers! Look who's arrived. His position is becoming untenable at Bolton. I just think it's a matter of time before he gets the sack, because you can't play like that at Bolton Wanderers and keep your job massively, can you?
No, it's not great. They don't have a style. They don't have an identity. They used to be this free-flowing side that played great football, out from the back, attractive to watch, and they haven't adapted. They don't have a plan B, I don't think. And Wigan went, and it's like, Wigan went with the side that was so relaxed. They've done it before. Bolton just went into the game nervous. And when you're nervous to play in front of your supporters at home, because they know if they go a goal down, it's going to get tense inside the stadium. And that's where I think that Ian Evatt should leave the football club, because when the fan base turns, it's very hard to get them back. And I do just think that, as well, fans' opinions on a club. Look at Birmingham at the moment, that how good they're feeling about the football club, how that's transitioning onto the pitch. And you look at Wrexham, look at Wycombe, look at Stockport, look at Lincoln last season. When you're winning games of football, the fans are, you think you're unbelievable. Where you lose a few games, young players go into hiding out, they're scared. And it's up to the manager and the players as a whole to basically man up and I hate that term, the phrase, and get the results and have the kahunas to go and say, look, 26 points from 13 games is a great return, but they're still miles off it. They're still miles off it for me. And look, the next 2 or 3 games are massive. I think they've got Wycombe on Friday night, which will tell you a lot, but he's got a safe job. He's done an amazing job for that football club. But Sharon Britton's done an amazing job at that football club, transforming them. All of a sudden, fans are going to get on her back for the first time in kind of her period at the football club. What is it, 5 years now? Mm-hmm. Going to be very interesting. We'll move on. Peterborough. What a stunning game this was. It had end-to-end. Peterborough United have now just lost 2 of their last 9 league games against newly promoted sides. However, they did lose to Wrexham this year by 2-0. And this was only the 5th league meeting between Crawley and Peterborough, with Posh winning 3 of those as well. Posh, unbelievable. 25 goals scored at home now. However, Posh has scored the most goals in the league at home and conceded the most goals in the league at home and been involved in the most goals in Scarlet League One this year. 72, Jake, already been involved in. That's what you're going to get from a Peterborough United side as well. And Crawley, again, you know what you're going to get, conceded 14 goals prior to this one before the game from set pieces. And for a side that have come up and are struggling at the bottom, you can't afford to keep conceding soft goals yet again in a game. But Peterborough's attacking quality gets them through. Good to see young Keane Hayes. He only scored, I think, 2 league goals for Fleetwood, getting 2 goals yesterday, and could have had a goal against Northampton. His unselfishness play gave it to, I think, was it Mothersill on the night as well. An unbelievable result for them, and it had everything.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch from a neutral. I can imagine if you're a Peterborough or a Crawley fan, you're probably pulling your hair out several times. If you've got any left, and you're a Peterborough or Crawley fan, let me know, because I bet you haven't, watching some of the defending for those goals, Ben. Yeah, it was a little bit ominous, wasn't it? But I'll tell you what, one man that I do want to bring to the fore, because you've brought Keane Hayes to the fore, obviously being ex-Fleetwood and deservedly so. Malik Mothersill, I think, has massively stepped up last couple of weeks. Scored the goal, didn't he, on Monday night? Did we do the Sunday? And then they played on the Monday, didn't they, at Northampton? I know they lost, but he scored that night. I know his celebration left a little bit to be desired, shushing the home fans. But I think it was the assist for, was it Keane Hayes' second goal, where he runs pretty much the length of the pitch and lays it off easily for him. Look, we know Peterborough can be so fluent in the attack. You know, they've got such good attacking players. And this is without Kwame Poku, Ben. They scored 4 goals without Poku. And, you know, are we surprised? Because you got Jay Jones, Randall, Keane Hayes has stepped up massively. You know, Ricky J. Jones, like I say, Malik Mothersill. But at the back, Peterborough are so poor. Like, they needed to replace 3 of the big defenders, and I just don't think they did it, you know, very well. And the goalkeeper situation, I don't think it helps switching between goalkeepers. I know, did Fleetwood do it last year? They got relegated. I know they played a lot of Jay Lynch, but I feel like they changed goalkeepers.
No, not really.
Who was it? There was a team that got relegated that kept. Oh, was it Carlisle?
They did change the goalkeeper.
Carlisle.
Yeah, they went through Thomas Holy, Gab Breeze, and Lewis as well.
Yeah.
Harry Lewis.
And for me, you're not interested in any confidence in a goalkeeper if you're just going to drop him the first time he makes a mistake. I think I take a really good positive example of that, of not dropping a goalkeeper and making a mistake, is the Stevenage. Because what was his name? The goalkeeper from Fulham,
Tashby Hammond.
Yeah, he's been very, very good for them, but he can't get a sniff in the team because Murphy Cooper's keeping clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet, and even though he makes a mistake, they stick with him. So I think that doesn't help for Peterborough. Crawley, we've seen it before, haven't we? We've seen them ship silly goals this year, and they did it again. The positive for Crawley is they scored 3 goals. I think they've been lacking goals over the last couple of weeks. So to score 3 will massively give them a lot of confidence, and to play that well against the Peterborough team that are well fancied by many will actually give Crawley a lot of confidence going into the festive period.
I think Peterborough are, again, you've said it a lot, start of a 2-year cycle. They've got to get the players up to speed for what they want to do, and they'll invest. Darren McAntony is not stupid, he'll know. But he always says he'd rather win a game 6-2. He'd rather win those games 4-3 than 1-0. He's like that. He's Darren McAntony. He's all about, because then the attackers can stat pad and get kind of the money on the value as well. There's 75 people in this stream. 60% of people who watch these live streams aren't subscribed. So make sure you subscribe down below as well, and like the stream as well. You say that Peterborough obviously, you know, need to sort the goalkeeper out. I think that Sue's Gigi would do a great job down at London Road. I think it'd be a phenomenal move for him. Yeah.
He's going to ship goals like he has been. No, sorry. No, I'm joking. No, he's a good goalkeeper. It's too good for Peterborough.
Get Freddie Draper as well. What's he running in?
Freddie Draper's going to go to Doncaster, mate. Life's going to be fine.
And runs in chemicals.
We're
Reading 0, Blackpool 3. 3 wins on the trot for the Seaside. Blackpool have won each of their last 3 away games, doing for the first time since a run of 5 between February 2021 and April 2021, where they went on this unbelievable run under Neil Critchley, you know, with your Elliot Embleton, Ellis Sims, those types of players, actually winning the playoff final that season as well against Lincoln City. Blackpool's record on the Steeple, 7 wins, 3 draws, 5 defeats. I think 3 or 4 of those defeats he actually wasn't present for as well. Prior to this one, Blackpool had lost 8 of their last 9 league away games away at Reading, only winning 1, conceding 2.8 goals averagely in that time as well. And again, Blackpool, good run, pulling up some good results, keep scoring, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. Reading, obviously, Ruben Sellers left the football club. We always thought there might be a dip. But Blackpool, I think, are only 5 points off the playoffs. They are a side that normally, over seasons, start slow, go on a great run and get into the playoffs. We all know if they get into the playoffs, they do normally win them. You look a few years ago, like we just said, their season in around the middle of December completely turned. Is that going to happen again? I can realistically see they're getting better under a new system. Settled system. The players know the roles as well. But also, as well, the January transfer market. I think Steve Bruce will be backed from Simon Sadler. They haven't really invested too much in the transfer market over recent years. If they did so in the January, there'd be a great chance for them to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. It looks to me like they're just about hitting their stride, aren't they? And we said this when Steve Bruce first came in, rather, that there was initial impact. And they've done well. Like you say, they know their roles. All the players are playing pretty consistent minutes. You've got Lee Evans in midfield, Carl Joseph up front, Oppie at the back, and then Tyre in goal, who I don't think he played yesterday, did he? I think it was O'Donnell. But they've got a good spine there at Blackpool. And like you say, they're knowing their roles and knowing the positions. And they're starting to get back to the Blackpool that we saw when Steve Bruce came in. I think that's 3 wins in a row now for them. They're just motoring ahead. And do you know what, Ben? They're what? Are they 4 points outside the playoffs? 3 points outside the playoffs? With games in... Hey, 5. With games in hand, I think we could easily see this Blackpool team finishing the playoffs. And we know what happens when Blackpool get in the playoffs. But like you mentioned there, they're a really good football side. And yesterday, I thought they showed that because naturally, Ben, Reading has been a really tough place to go to over the last sort of 18 months or so, given the fact that they're so good at home. They like to dominate the ball. Blackpool, again, did really well at out possession and caught Reading. But they were fantastic. They absolutely deserved the win. Reading, I think this is the start of maybe a little decline for them. I think, given that Ruben left, what was it? Was it before we did the show last week, the Wycombe game? I think we're going to see Reading sort of slip down the table. They've done really well to get to where they are, but Noel Hunt just isn't an appointment, I think, that massively gets you anywhere. I don't think he's going to be one that they've had a really good start. I don't think they build with Noel Hunt. I think he's probably someone just to steady the ship until we'll maybe see a new ownership involved at Reading. But yeah, really good performance of Blackpool. They're just motoring ahead nicely. And in the January window, if they've got money and Steve Bruce with his contact book, I think almost anything is possible for Blackpool, as long as it doesn't involve spending a fee on them. But yeah, I really think this Blackpool team could and maybe should certainly be in the top 8 or 9 of this division. And I think that we're starting to see a Blackpool team that will finish there.
Blackpool have always been a football club built on momentum, and as a football club, you talk about a feel-good factor. There wasn't really a good feel-good factor 6-8 weeks ago, and maybe a lethargicness to go to games because the squad wasn't really doing anything. The owner wasn't really giving an incentive. I know there was a bit of a kick-off over season ticket prices in the last 2 years as well. It feels there's been a bit of a disconnect at Blackpool, and when Blackpool are connected as a football club, they're better than a lot of football clubs in fan bases, noise. I know you were very impressed with them when you went. And look, I probably know Blackpool fans a lot better than a lot of other kind of clubs in League One in terms of fan bases. And I can honestly say, my honest opinion, I think they're excellent home and away, make good numbers, but make the noise to go along it as well. And they're realistic as well. And it's a good result for them away from home. And look, I've been harsh on Blackpool because I expect more from them. People say I'm very harsh on them. I think I expect more from them because I know what that squad is capable of. It's done it. A lot of good players in there has done it at a higher level and done it at this level before. So let's see. Shrewsbury 1, Wycombe 4. Shrewsbury have only won 4 home league games this year. New Year's Day against Fleetwood, the middle of March against Carlisle, both of those sides got relegated to League 2 last year. Leyton Orient and the end of the season last year. Leyton Orient, obviously at the start of the season this year, lost to Leyton Orient at the end of last season. And Birmingham in November time as well. 4 results at home for a side that's trying to stay in the division. I think are they 11 points adrift now? 10, 11 points adrift now. And what they will be saying, and I know exactly We only need 35 points from 28 games. It's doable. And I said this to Dave the other day, he's a Burton fan. Don't do it to yourself. I kept doing it. Jake knows all about that. I kept doing that to myself. It looks possible until you play your games of football and you lose. And every week it looks demoralising. And only Plymouth Argyle and Wolves have conceded more goals than Shrewsbury Town this season. 42-40. Shrewsbury have now conceded 39. With Salt conceding 4 or more goals in back-to-back league games for the first time since April 2014. Not a great start under Gareth Ainsworth since that Birmingham win. Wycombe unbeaten in 17, 13 wins, 4 draws. And Wycombe have scored in every match this season. Most goals in League One, 6 more than Peterborough. And Wycombe have struck 28 goals on the road, 10 more than anyone else in the division. 4th highest expected goals. I'm running out of words for this side. And it is literally when the master trained the apprentice and the apprentice has gone back to the master and beaten 4-1. A nice little moment between Gareth Ainsworth and Matt Bloomfield at the end of the game. Gareth Ainsworth pointing towards Matt Bloomfield. Great result for them. Great football club, and they're building something, really together, nearly at that 50-point mark now.
What do I say about Wycombe Wanderers, Ben? I don't particularly have anything more to say. They are just outstanding. I think you can pretty much rinse and repeat everything that I said after they beat us the other week. Just so good going forward. And they did it all without Coney even getting on the score sheet. They scored 4 goals without Coney. Similar to Peterborough without Pocket. Coney's the man that glues that front line together, but he wasn't needed. Yesterday, Dan O'Doe stepped into that role, did really well. Fred Onyedinma, again, a player that we both really like, and Gareth McCleary, just fantastic. And I know we were speaking about Bolton earlier. If you're not recalling Aaron Morley, based on performances like yesterday, I'm worried about the transfer strategy at Bolton. But Wycombe are just outstanding going forward. You mentioned there how many goals they scored. Just so clean going forward. Everything is so clean. And what I think really helps them are the 2 fullbacks. We've said it time and time again. Dan Harvey and Jasper Pattenden or Jack Grimmer, whoever's playing that right back role, are just so advanced, and they get really high up because the defensive midfielder sits back and they play always with a back 3 when they're in possession. And it just suffocates teams having that many bodies to defend and that many runs from deep as well, because you've got Luke Leahy or Morley or whoever it is, the fullbacks running into the box late, and that's so tough to defend, literally. And they're so good at it, and they've mastered it. And Matt Bloomfield, it took him a real long time to get this style of play implemented, but you could see the green shoots right at the start, Ben. I know they lost a couple of games, but it's because they were so open and they were so expansive, and they didn't have the players to do that because they had players that were used to playing so defensive and on the counter, whereas this group of players he's now got physically can do everything that he wants them to do. And then going forward, it's like they just have to be creative, and they have been every single time. Yesterday they went forward, it felt like they were going to score. Shrewsbury, I can completely take your point. It's similar, isn't it, to what Fleetwood were doing. They'll say, they need 30, 35 points to stay up or whatever. But games just go by. They'll have runs like they have done this year of losing 4 or 5 in a row, and all of a sudden you're then looking for 30 points from 20 games, or you're looking for 30 points from 15 games, and that just isn't sustainable for a team that are winning 4 or 5. Well, maybe maximum they're probably going to win 8 games this season, Shrewsbury. So yeah, it's tough, and Ainsworth has got a lot of work to do. I do think they'll be better after January though, Ben, because I think Ainsworth will bring in some of his generals to come and help steady the ship. They won't concede so many soft goals. It's going to be a hard sell to some players, but I think Gareth Ainsworth can get players in based on his management style, and I think he'll bring some players in that he's worked with before. So, yeah, it was a really good performance of Wycombe. For Shrewsbury, am I worried? Yes, massively. I think you'll be playing against them next season if you don't get yourself promoted. But they're, I don't know, really, really poor, really poor.
Bang on, Ian. I was just about to say this. I watched his interview actually, and he said what he's done basically other football clubs isn't working with this group of players. And I like that he's kind of saying, look, I need to try something new. And he's taking it on his own shoulder as well. So, but you lost to Wycombe, who are a good side. Cambridge is unforgivable. Birmingham won. Realistically, would he have taken 3 points from those first 3? Yes, probably. So. Birmingham, Wycombe, top 2, and then you're playing Cambridge away, probably thinking you win. It's the goals are conceding. It's very, very soft. So, yeah, am I feeling okay? Yes, I'm feeling very well.
He's got a bad back from sleeping on the sofa, ain't you, Ben?
Bad back, cold. But other than that, I'm like living the life of Riley, believe me. Rotherham United beat Northampton at the New York Stadium, Jake. Rotherham maybe just slowly getting to where they want to do. Rotherham have actually only lost one of their last 10 league games against the Cobblers, winning 5 of which and winning each of the last 4 matches against the Cobblers. Northampton have just one of their last 13 away matches against Rotherham United, failing to score in 8 of those as well. Northampton have only just won 1 in 17 away from home. That came against Huddersfield earlier this season, lost 10 of which. If Northampton are going to stay in the division, have to start getting a few points away from home. They are good at home, don't get me wrong, but that is maybe not always enough. They've only kept 1 clean sheet in 17 away matches, which is a worry. For Rotherham this season, it hasn't been about making chances. It's about conversion, taking your opportunities at key moments. And when they do that, I think they can be a good side. Rotherham actually currently hold the worst kind of a shot kind of conversion rate in the division at 8%, which isn't great at all. It needs to improve, especially with the quality they've got in forward areas. But back-to-back wins, slowly getting there. Back-to-back wins at home as well against Lincoln and Northampton. Decent.
Yeah, they're slowly but surely getting there, aren't they, Rotherham? They're slow. They're turning into a Steve Evans team, but I still don't think they quite play like a Steve Evans team, if that makes sense, Ben. They're winning games, but again, I think similar to Bolton, I think they're winning games of football because they have better players than the opposition. Yesterday, I mean, despite the 3-0 scoreline, I wasn't enamoured massively by the way that they play. I mean, more shots on target. That was something that Steve Evans would be happy with. But only 4 corners. This Rotherham team was so electric from corners. And you're looking at the goals coming from Clark Harris, who's been pretty lean so far this year when it comes to goals. And the other one's coming from Andre Green. He's just come back into the team, hasn't he, after a long spell on the sideline. So yeah, I think that this Rotherham team have far more to give. I think they maybe need to add some better quality from the bench that came on. Sean McWilliams is a decent player at this level. Ex-Northampton, obviously. Liam Kelly's an old lad. Alex McDonald's getting on now. Jamie McCart. Hungbo came on 93, so you can't imagine Evans thinks massive amounts of him. I think, didn't Evans come out and say there was basically 2 players that he was looking to get rid of either way anyway? Was it Cohen Bramall and... I can't remember who the other one was. I think Steve Evans just basically said that he's going to get rid of... What are you looking to stop me for, Ben?
Can I just say, by the way, Rotherham United actually won 3-0 this weekend, and you're going,
yeah,
he's not. No, they won 3-0, and all you picked
they
up
need
on
better options off the bench, Ben.
They won back-to-back games. If we did this 2 games ago, I could understand. They've just won back-to-back games, scoring 5, conceding 1, right?
17th in the league, Ben.
But back-to-back results, right?
Yeah, granted, but they are there. Rotherham United under Steve Evans are 17th in the league.
Oh my God! Yes, I know they're not. It's not good enough. It isn't good enough. Right?
Well, back-to-back wins is very good, Ben. But before these back-to-back wins, they're on 17 points from 16 games.
5 games off Lincoln with 2 games in hand. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest about it. They might not, but I think that if this was Alex Ravel in charge of this Rotherham side, I think you might have something different to say. I think you're only saying that because it's Steve Evans in charge.
No.
It was nice to sit next to you yesterday, actually. I thought I was sat next to Steve Evans. The referee's not giving us anything. You won't give us anything.
Well, in fairness, was I wrong? No, I wasn't.
Well, he didn't give a blatant penalty.
Well, Stapes said it wasn't a penalty, so I'm going to trust Stapes.
You could tell the darts has come out tonight because I'm reeling in that big fish. I'm reeling in the big fish.
I think it's fair to say that they won 3-0 against a really abject Northampton team who are out of sorts at the minute. They need a leader to come in, don't they? Because I know Samo's a bit of a club legend and a cult hero, but I still think they need that figure of authority because I don't know, Ben. They play well one week and then they don't the next week. And yesterday they were horrific. Rotherham just took advantage of playing against a really poor side. So yeah, it's a good win for Rotherham, Ben. But 17th on the table is not good enough for Rotherham United, who are perennial, promotion winners out of this division. So, look, mate, I think those 2 wins have kept Steve Evans in the job until at least the new year. Put it that way.
Yeah, 100%. And 95 here in the stream. Get liking and get subscribing down below for more content as well. Exeter 1, Barnsley 2, Jake. Barnsley made it difficult for themselves, but look, they're just outside the playoffs now. Great result for them away from home. Exeter, actually, when I looked at it, lowest expected goals in the division, actually. And Exeter have been a team that have relied on the goalkeeper Joe Whitworth and the back line of Kramer, etc. this year as well. But prior to this one, Barnes had actually lost 8 of their last 10 league away games away at Exeter. They won the other 2, conceding 2.2 goals in that period as well. And actually before the game, there's actually only been 17 goals at St James's Park. Only Wigan had fewer on 14. Obviously, I have 3 the other day, so things have changed in that. But a great result for the Tykes away from home. Difficult, dug it out. Nice goal as well. Talk me through it. Great result for...
Which goal was the nice one?
What?
Which goal was the nice one?
It was a very good goal. It was a very, very good goal.
Are you on about the first one or the second one?
I'm about the first one.
Oh, yeah? Goal scorer, please, Ben?
Kelechi.
It's not hard. Come on.
And
Carley, Ben.
With Carley.
Are we doing N?
N.
Come on, Ben. Why?
N. Why?
Carley.
And with Carley.
There we go. It's a lot better than Thomas Kalinauskas, isn't it, Ben?
Thomas Kalinauskas.
We're getting there. Yeah, no, it is a good win for. It's a good win for Barnsley. But to be honest, Ben, I thought Exeter started off really brightly. They had a shot, didn't they? Just within the first sort of 20 seconds of the game, Jack Aitchison had an opening, but he dragged his shot wide. The goal comes from a deflected free kick, but I'm sure Josh McGuinness won't really particularly care about that. Exeter started brightly, but Barnsley worked their way back into the game. By the second half, they completely took control of it. Goals from Enwakali and Davis Keeler-Dunn, Ben, who, to be honest, has stepped in and been a really massive part of this team, hasn't he?
I said one thing, and now all I get is hate.
Yeah, we had a little bit of stick on TikTok Live on Friday, didn't we, about Birmingham City? And we actually spoke about Birmingham City more than we spoke about anybody else. So I wonder what that might have been. But Barnsley, Ben, Davis Keeler-Dunn, what an acquisition he's been to this Barnsley team. He's added a new dimension. I know we say that they lack a goal scorer, but they've certainly got in Davis Keeler-Dunn a goal scoring midfielder who seems to be getting on the score sheet more often than not at the moment. It's a good win. We know Barnsley are very good away from home. And like you say, Exeter's a really tough place to go. It's a long trek. But again, they dug in, they went behind. And this Barnsley team, I think you can question the character on this Barnsley team. I think once or twice I've seen them go behind and the heads have dropped. However, yesterday completely they stood tall and got a really good win. And it was it's a really useful win for them, Ben. It's a really useful win because it gets them to within a point of the playoffs. I know Reading have got a game in hand on them, but it stops the rot, didn't it? Because they previously they hadn't won in the 5 beforehand. So really big result for them. They just need to try and constrict, get to January and see where they can improve, because certainly need some goals. But if they can add a goal scorer to this Davis Keeler-Dunn and Wakali can come into the team and maybe pop up with 1 or 2 from midfield, and Adam Phillips starts playing the way we know we can, then I think this Barnsley team really, like Blackpool, could be anything they want to be.
One thing I will say, I often on my Twitter go through League 1 points per game times 46 matches, because especially at this time of year when you've got teams like Barnsley play more games. Currently, it's Birmingham City 107, Wycombe 104. This is rounded up. Wrexham 94, Huddersfield 87. By the way, I think there's a massive gap between the quality of the top 3 in Huddersfield, and I'll get on to that in a minute. Bolton Wanderers will be 5th, bear in mind. Stockport County 6 on 75. Reading 75, then Barnsley on 69. So yes, they are just outside. Then Lincoln 64, then Mansfield, Stevenage, Blackpool 63 and 62. So there is a bit of a gap forming there as well. Again, it's going to be interesting. Barnsley just need to pull 3 or 4 results together, like they did earlier this season as well. They've got Leyton Orient, Bolton, and Peterborough to come as well before a visit of Wrexham and Crawley. If they can get through that difficult patch, maybe 3, 4, 5, 8 points. I reckon they'd take that. I reckon it'd be a good period for them. Next up, a game that we were both at yesterday. Huddersfield 2, Lincoln City 2, Jake. A game of 2 halves. Lincoln electric in that first half. Frantic, got the ball into wide areas, really hurt Huddersfield and could have had 3, if not 4. Huddersfield absolutely offered nothing and were nowhere to be seen. A bit like Joe Taylor for either side, nowhere to be seen. Lincoln
I had
City
a few nibbles on the way back to the car, Ben, let me tell you that.
Yeah, Lincoln City have won just 2 of their last 9 league away matches against Huddersfield Town, drawing 2, losing 5. No, both wins came alongside a clean sheet in that time as well. No side has scored more goals in corners in League One in Huddersfield with 8. So you know what you're going to get: a direct side, physical, cross into the box in that second half.
I think we scored 10 from corners.
Well, not according to EFL Stat Pack.
Oh, well, I'm not sure I verified.
I believe EFL more than you do.
Okay, I would believe up.
Lincoln have failed to win any of their last 7 league matches, lasting during a longer run in December, January last year. The Lincoln boys don't like the dark. They come out when it starts to get a little bit lighter. Huddersfield Town now are unbeaten in their last 10 matches in League One, 7 wins, 3 draws. Again, wasn't blown away with them. They're good at the basics, good at crossing into the box. They're not really quick or frantic or in your face. They're quite easy to get at times. And I think Huddersfield fans, the sensation around the ground is we're not playing our best football. Our best is yet to come. I don't think it is. I think that Duff sides are dull watchers all year round. You might have a few 3 or 4 good games a season, like your Bolton's away, those types of games as well. But they're not a great watch, and they've still got to kind of get through these difficult months. But they're on for 87 points. They'll get the wins needed. They'll be able to keep clean sheets and get back into games like they did yesterday. Disappointed or happy with the point?
Really difficult. Oh, crikey! It's all about you, Ben.
There you are.
No, please take me off full screen. I don't really want to. I don't want Ben. If you just said to me at 2:00, you'll walk out of here with a point, would I shut your hand and said yes, please? Yeah, I probably would. At 3:30, if you'd have said to me, you're going to draw this, what do you think I'd have replied to you, Ben? It would have been an explicit because we were 2-0 up.
At half time, you did say you were going to lose.
I did, yeah, because I just know Lincoln City, unfortunately. Yeah, it was it was difficult. It was a really good first half, like you say. I thought Ben House was really good in that attacking midfield role. Bailey Cadamartri was fantastic up front. Looked every inch a top end League One centre forward, didn't he? Took his goal really well. Deriqua down the right hand side, and I thought Rico actually played well, both wing backs. And that first half, and like you say, we literally dominated that first half. Huddersfield had nothing going the other way. There was no moments where George would. Hey,
I agree with that. I don't agree with the comment about Rico Hackett. I thought Rico Hackett.
I thought Rico was good in that
second half.
Yes,
it was great first half. Second half, Dom Jeffrey should have been brought on.
What a surprise! Ben Knapman doesn't listen. I was talking about the first half. I was talking about the first half.
And the weatherman.
I thought Rico was really good in the first half. Really, really good. And I think the best player on the pitch was Ethan Arahan by, again, a country mile. He was outstanding, just shielding the ball. And he massively went over to the left-hand side of Rico and Sean and made lots of triangles, which caused Huddersfield 1 or 2 issues, certainly with crosses into the box. And that's how both the goals come. So, yeah, I was really impressed with that first half. But I'm a Lincoln City fan. I'm a realist. I know what happens.
But yeah, you should have mentioned that.
Yeah, Lincoln don't do very well when it comes to holding on to leads. And yeah, I thought the tactics were wrong. Instead of trying to kill the game off, which we maybe should have done, we decided to sit back on it and we let Huddersfield in. And what was the first thing I said to you, Ben? And I said it to Sue, don't let them score early, because you let them score early, they get the tails up, and what happens? They got the goal early, and I think I turned to you, didn't I, on 56 minutes or 57 minutes going, oh my God, it's going to be a long afternoon. And you said, get to 70 minutes, and I think you'll be absolutely fine. Fine.
I just think don't stress about stuff you can't control. You can't give me that advice then.
Yeah. I think it was. I think the tactics were wrong. We made the wrong subs. I don't think he should have took Bailey Calamatri off and brought Draper on. I thought Rico, like you mentioned, should have gone off, and maybe someone like a Dom Jeffries should have come on. Thanks, John. I am impartial for the most part, but yeah, just disappointed, Ben. Huddersfield, I didn't think were excellent. I thought that they were pretty average. Going forward, they did have that air about them, didn't they? David Kasumi was really good in midfield. But look, I'm disappointed, Ben, because we're 2-0 up and we should win the game. I think it was a game that you had that springs to mind on TV. Morecambe at home on Sky.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
It felt to me a lot like Morecambe at home for Fleetwood, Ben. So in control of the first half. Second half, just really poor. Ben, I do have a stat on Huddersfield though before we clear off.
Go on.
It's the first time they've come back from 2 goals down to get a league point since 2015. So it's a
Jesus Christ.
So nearly 10 years. They've not done that in nearly 10 years.
Well, so when they've first or 2-0 down?
Eh?
When they've been 2-0 down?
First time they've come back from 2 goals, from 2 down to get a league point in 10 years nearly.
Welcome to Lincoln City.
Lincoln City rock up, and there you are, Huddersfield. Yeah, no, look, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. But you know what? January is around the corner. Sorry, around the window. I don't know why I said that. And yeah, look, I think it's a good point, Ben, on the face of it. But given the context of the game, it's a really bad point.
If you are new around here, there's 106 people in the chat. Get subscribing down below. It will be trying to go for 20k. That is my ultimate aim. I've always wanted to get to 20k since I've hit 10k. So if you could, just press it. It's free to do so. Make sure you press it down below. Wrexham 2, Cambridge 2. The late show for Cambridge. And look, what Wrexham got done to them the other day is what Wrexham have been doing to other teams all season long, scoring late goals and punishing them. Wrexham have actually taken 29 points from their opening 11 matches this term, their best such tally at this stage of his Football League season since Jake's first year of life in 1969-70, where they also...
You are so out of order.
That season.
I am 26 years of age, by the way. People.
Since the return to the EFL, Wrexham have actually won 26, drawn 5 and lost 3. If you actually include the season they got promoted to the National League in their last 3 seasons, won 48, drawn 6 and lost 3 in their last 57 home league matches. Wrexham won the previous 4 games prior to this as well without conceding. 1 loss in their last 11 to Stockport County, winning 7 of which as well. For Cambridge, big point on the road as well, who are now starting to regularly pick up points, if not to win the games as well. So, kind of the last 8-10 games has been much better. Cambridge United have just won 2 of their last 18 Football League away matches against Wrexham, drawing 6, losing 10, with each of their previous 2 visits to the racecourse ending 5-0. A lot better visit. Good game this, 2-2.
Yeah, mate. Daniel Underloo, again. Fantastic player. What's that? 2-2 for him now. Yeah, really impressed by Cambridge. They've seemed to, since the last break, they've certainly come back a better side. And they, I think that win last week would have done them the world of good, really, against Shrewsbury, wouldn't it? And to go away to Wrexham, who have won 2-0 at home so many times over the last couple of months, will be really positive. To get in front and come back from going behind is really good for Cambridge. Wrexham, they looked pretty sluggish. I think they look like a team that's played a lot of football recently. I think they're still in the Virtue Trophy, aren't they, as well? They look like a team that's played a lot of football. Cambridge, really good result, Ben. I know that probably looks like it on the base of it that it's come against a run of play. But Cambridge had a lot of shots yesterday, Ben. 14 shots. They went to Wrexham. I found this with Wrexham a little bit. They let the teams come onto them a little bit too much. And then sometimes I think when you're so used to it and your mind slips into a state where you allow it to happen, sometimes it's just going to go wrong. I think Wrexham yesterday, they were just in that state of mind, really, where they thought, well, we'll let Cambridge come onto us and maybe score, but we know we're good enough to score twice. And unfortunately for them, Daniel Underloo, an 89th minute penalty. Really pleased for him. I know he's had a rough couple of years since heading up to Bolton, but yeah, really good result for Cambridge. Like you say, they don't tend to do well at Wrexham over the years, even stretching back to the National League days. So, yeah, fantastic result for Cambridge.
Bristol Rovers have apparently parted terms with manager Matt Taylor.
Parted ways.
Well, party company, yeah, you are. We can't talk about that yet, but we'll have a discussion. Well, we can't talk about it yet because it's not happened, but we're going to talk about
Tomorrow
it.
morning.
Yeah,
believe
we'll talk about it tomorrow morning when it does happen, but we can have our feeling if it should happen or not. But going back, Birmingham City have won 13 matches this season, the same amount in entirety of last season, where they drew 11, lost 22 of which. But for Bristol Rovers have now failed to win any of their last 7 league away matches away at Birmingham, losing 4 of those, conceding exactly 2 goals in each of their last 4 visits there as well. Birmingham, 10 wins in 14 at home. It's as many home wins as Blues has had in their last 27. And Lee Buchanan also getting his first goal for Birmingham City. First goal since August 2022, where he scored against Borussia Dortmund. There you are. Borussia Dortmund to Bristol Rovers as well.
I like Lee Buchanan. I know him. He's a good lad.
Yeah, Birmingham City, 6 wins in a row for the first time since January 2012. And look, seems a couple of weeks ago they lost to Shrewsbury. I think it was 3 weeks ago. And the beauty of the season getting going now with cup competitions and obviously the FA Cup, the Chicken Selects Trophy as well, in the Virtue Trophy as well.
Hey, mate, it's a route to Wembley. Don't knock it because you're out of it.
Just because you're still in it, lad. Just because you're still in it.
As of January, the week commencing January the 16th, it's going to be back simple when we lose the Bolton.
But again, they've bounced back really well. And look, Birmingham's rankings, 3rd most goals in the league with 34, 69.3% of possession, which is the most in the division, by about 17-18% as well, more than Crawley. So only 6 clean sheets, but that'll get better, I think. Shots on target, again, 8. Had the most penalties in the league as well, which Portsmouth did. I think Portsmouth had double-figure penalties last year. They're in the box a lot more, and it happened as well. Expected goals conceded as well, the lowest in the division as well. So in every metric, they're a great side. For Bristol Rovers, though, 1 shot on target, lost the last 3 matches without scoring in that time as well. Scored 1 in the last 5 away at Mansfield. Scored 4 in the last 9. Only won 2 of those games as well. 20th in terms of goals, 23rd in terms of possession, 22nd in expected goals, 23rd in shots on target. As much as Birmingham were, again, brilliant, and Jay Stansfield, that man, 10 goals now for him, 15 million down the drain, not worth it. He won't thrive under the pressure. Well, he loves it, and he's become a better player from it, I really think. And I said it'd be a bargain for what he'll do over long term, because he'll get him promoted this year. And again, next season can go to that level and score 15, 20, 25 goals. I honestly believe that. But back to Bristol Rovers, they are so poor in every way. They're flat to watch. And there's no run there. And Bristol Rovers need a Joey Barton character, that fighter. Matt Taylor's a bit of a boring old maths teacher. That's how I see him. And he's not the one to inspire you. And they just look off it in every department. And I think the best it got for Bristol Rovers fans yesterday was singing "We've Had a Shot."
Yeah, you've seen Kaz's post on Twitter, then I take it. Yeah, it was. It was poor. It's a shame Ben didn't really end up 3-0, really, wasn't it? Because I should have been right then, and we all know how Ben likes being right. That's a link back to your TikTok live that we had on Friday night.
Can you stop going on about this TikTok live, please?
Yeah, it was the highlight of my weekend, Ben, apart from Bailey Cadamartri's goal. But Bristol Rovers are poor, mate. And I don't blame Matt Taylor. I don't blame Matt Taylor because he's working in such a difficult environment. It'd be like you going to work, Ben, right? And all of a sudden you rock up. There's no chefs and there's no alcohol for you to serve behind the bar.
Jesus Christ! I need to hide.
Could you imagine if you rocked up to work and that happened? Because I felt a little.
I didn't know when I've had to go over to the regulars and go, "Sorry, mate, doing bars off. What can I get you instead?" The evils I get. Jesus.
So
and this is at 9:05 in the morning.
Well, you lot up there are made of much sterner stuff. I think he's been really hard done by. Not very right. At Bristol Rovers, I know he's been backed, and the argument with the fans will be he spent a lot of money. But I don't think what you're looking at is a Matt Taylor team. You look at his team that got promoted out of League Two. They have power, pace, strength. Where do you see that in this Bristol Rovers team? I don't see it anywhere, Ben. I can understand the likes of Camille Conte, athlete. Promise Cherry can be a real athlete and a real asset. He's been injured. So I think you have to look at that. I think the ownership as well with leaks and with it's just got a little bit toxic, and I feel like it's going to take a manager to win every single game at Bristol Rovers for it not to be toxic. It feels like that sort of environment, but they need to take stock of where they are. They came into the league 3 years ago, and they've not really kicked on. I don't think that's the manager's fault at all. I think Matt Taylor's a good manager. If you said to me, will Matt Taylor get another job in League One? I'd say absolutely he will, because he's in the right environment. I certainly think that he's good enough to manage at this level. But like you say, Ben, Birmingham just fantastic again, in awe of how good they are going forward, at the back. I mean, it helped the Bristol Rovers were more blunt than a butter knife, but they're outstanding. Jay Stansford, like you mentioned, we saw both sides of his game last week with the win at Barnsley, but to score a penalty yesterday, really good. Just in awe of them a little bit, to be honest. I think, like Tony says there, I think the one disappointing thing was that it maybe could and should have been more. I think that was the game where they could have tonked somebody, but clearly things didn't really go their way. But go on, Ben. You really want to jump in, so go on.
No, you carry on.
I don't know, mate. Bristol Rovers are just one of those teams, and I've been talking to a few Bristol Rovers fans, and they've given me 3 names of managers they want. They want Des, who I don't think they're going to get. They want who were the other? Schumacher. I'd be very, very surprised if Steven Schumacher ends up anywhere. No, Ryan Lowe. I replied to Ben Darrell. Who was it? Or Richie Wellens. Can you see Richie Wellens leaving Orient to go to Bristol Rovers? No.
Bristol Rovers, right, are a club that every year are expected to do so well, but don't. And again, every year, we've signed this player. Our business has been good. Bristol Rovers, 13th to 18th in League One. 15 wins a season, lose 18, draw 13. Yeah, that does get to 46 games. It's tough. It really is. But for Birmingham, yet again, great in every department, control the game, and they're not just beating teams because they're better than the opposition. Tactically well set up, they are better than the opposition, and they are playing mind games with them. It's like a mind game when you go to Birmingham. Yesterday he had him on strings, and it could have been 5 or 6. That first half was unbelievable. Probably the best I've seen them throw it a little bit from what's in back. Stevenage 2, Stockport 1. Prior to this one, Stockport County had lost 2 of their previous 3 away games, so not doing too good on the road in recent weeks as well. As many defeats in their 20 such matches beforehand, where they actually won 8, drew 10. Stevenage have only expected the goals of 15.1 this year, the second lowest in the division, just above bottom of the league, Burton. But a great result for Stevenage, who are now starting to pull a bit of a run to go. And that's 25 points for them now into the top half. Good result. Again, beating a good side as well. And what back-to-back wins can do for you. Alex Ravel was under a bit of pressure because you don't create chances, you're not having shots on goal, you're not being good to watch, you don't win. There's questions asked. He won away at Mansfield, and after that, they were on a bad run. Bit like you're seeing at Charlton now, who will come to in a minute. They've only won 2 of the last 13 matches. But again, good result for Stevenage. And Stockport, still in the playoffs. But again, decent game, this.
Yeah, Stevenage are just effective, aren't they, at what they do? Please don't do that. Why have you done that?
I did by accident.
I did it by accident. You are full of it, Mr. Knapman. But by the reading the Stockport forums and what Stockport fans had said, they were really disappointed with their team's performance, certainly in the second half. No attempts on goal in that second half, Ben, from Stockport either. When they're chasing the game, you're quite disappointed, aren't you? There was the penalty, wasn't there, Ben? The one on I think it was on Jordan Roberts. Not quite sure really what the goalkeeper's doing, to be honest. It was goalkeeper flying out, wasn't it? And completely caught him quite high in the air. But yeah, no, really good for Stevenage. They're really good at home, aren't they? Again, they've beaten Wrexham at home, they've beaten Charlton at home already. And it's like they play completely different style of football at the Lamex compared to what they do on the travels. Stockport, I think they need to maybe take a bit of a reality check as to where they are on the table. They've been on a really good journey so far this season. They've won a lot of games, but I've not been massively enamoured with them. I think they play really good football, but I think they've perhaps won games maybe which they shouldn't, and they've lost games in which they shouldn't have lost as well. I don't know. It was a difficult one. I think a draw probably would have been a decent result, a fair result maybe. But Stevenage get that look with the penalty. There's not a lot really to say. Dan Kemp again on the score sheet. He's looking really good. And Jamie Reid, I think he's now become the 10th top scorer in Stevenage history this weekend as well with his goal. So, yeah, really good result for Stevenage. If they win their games in hand, they can certainly get amongst the playoff conversation. But having games in hand and winning them is a completely different aspect, certainly of a team that are so inconsistent like Stevenage. So we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, Stockport, who have they got next, Ben? They play on Friday, don't they, Stockport? Peterborough on Friday night. Then they got Huddersfield and on Boxing Day, and then Rotherham United away in between Christmas and New Year. So tough couple of weeks for Stockport.
We can fly through these now. Orient Burton. This was just the third Football League meeting between Leyton Orient and Burton Albion, with Brewers remaining unbeaten over the hosts as well in that period of time. Won and drew last year, and obviously got a draw here as well. Good clean sheet, a good point for Burton on the road. Again, getting a point where sides around them maybe not doing as well, like Shrewsbury as well. Just got to keep getting the steady points if they can and win games. But Leyton Orient have really improved in recent weeks. Orient, I think, have taken 7 points in the last 3 matches, 4 consecutive clean sheets in all competitions. And Orient have actually won 4, drawn 2, and lost 2 in the last 8 games, whereas in the first 11, they only won 2, drew 2, lost 7. So massively improvement. For Burton, what is it now? I think we're 8 weeks without a manager, 55 days, and still nowhere closer. Do you think that it might get to a stage where there's a panic of a decision? And
I don't think they'll panic. I think they're running their way through candidates and seem to be getting turned down, because I think it was the Derry lad, wasn't it, most recently, that's been linked with a job, but he's turned it down. Certainly know there's been links with a lot of other managers that have reportedly turned the job down. I don't think they'll panic, though. They need to get this appointment right, just for the long term of the club. I think it's obvious in the short term that they're going to struggle this year. I think with 23 odd new players, a new manager, a new ownership, it was always going to be tough for them. And I sort of think, certainly speaking to David on a regular basis, that they've sort of understood their fate, really. I think they're resigned to going down. I think this appointment needs to be good for Burton for the long term. I think you're looking at a head coach that can look to build some momentum with the club and bring them back into the league, maybe after a year or two in League Two. But it was a good point on the road yesterday for them. Leyton Orient's a tough place to go. There's been many teams have gone there and lost. Many better teams than Burton will go there and lose again this season. So good point on the road. But yeah, I think this Tom Hounslow is now the 81st longest serving manager in the EFL, Ben, and he's only an interim manager. Okay. So 10 other managers have come in and gone since he's come into post. So it is quite alarming, but I would suggest that they need to get it right rather than rush into the wrong decision.
I think that's 2 wins, 2 draws and 3 defeats in the last 6, which is much better. Don't get me wrong, it's mid-table form that. He's just got a 9-point gap. And I look at it from my experience at Fleetwood last year, 9 points is achievable. Fleetwood went from 5 points on New Year's Day to 12 points with the worst goal difference, I think, on the 19th of January. And it's very hard to make that up because, look, they'll be saying we'll probably only need 34 points from 27 games. You've got 12 from 19. So you're looking at getting around about 1.2 points per game at that period of time. That's probably where I would say Mansfield are currently at. So you know what I mean? It's going to be very difficult for them. I really do believe that. Lee Bell will go absolutely nowhere near that Burton job. And if he does, I'll be very surprised because you don't...
He's got a chance to get promoted this year, Ben.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe if he doesn't go up, I could see potentially a world where Tom's given the job till the end of the season. And then, look, he hasn't done a bad job. I just think I think he's done well to steady the ship, but I just think they need someone to come in and with pedigree and look, say we can get out of this mess. Someone needs to speak to the supporters because at this moment in time, and I'm saying it again, they don't look like they're going to get out of it. Nothing suggests that to me. We'll go to the last game now. Charlton 0, Mansfield 0. This was just the third league meeting between Charlton and Mansfield. The first match between the Addicts and the Stags since 1978, where Charlton won 3-0. Mansfield first point in 6 matches after losing their last 5 matches as well. And Mansfield have only just won 2 of their last 11 Football League matches from clubs from London, drawing 4, losing 5, keeping 3 clean sheets now in that time as well, Jake. At home in League One this season, Charlton have faced chance from the opposition with an expected goals of just 6.57, of which 1.37 was yesterday. So Mansfield again did have chances in the match, the lowest tally in Scarlet League One, and that's what Charlton are all about. They're all about not conceding chances, being hard to beat, hard to break down. They'll keep clean sheets and win games 1-0. They didn't have the quality to do it yesterday. At the start of the season, Nathan Jones is an absolute unbelievable gaffer, and he is changing the game, and Charlton are an unbelievable side. And performances are ignored, when now, let's be honest about it, the performances probably stayed the same, but they're not getting the results they were, and they're getting punished, and they can't quite open a back door. Charlton won 4 of the first 6, losing 1, drawing 1. Since then, 2 wins in 13 matches, drawing 5, losing 6. I just feel Charlton are a bit off it at this moment in time. Great point for Mansfield to stop the rot. For Charlton, I don't know what to think about them.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nothing game. I had a bit of insight on this. Mansfield played really well. Are you wrapping your mind back to how I've got insight on this game, Ben? I don't know if you are or not. If you can remember a certain conversation exchange that I showed you, maybe. Did I show you it on Friday? Did I not show you it? Oh, okay. I'll show you another time. Yeah, I think Mansfield played really well. Maybe should have won the game. I think they had the chances, like you say. But it's a good point on the road away at Charlton, isn't it? You know, Charlton don't concede many goals, but yesterday they did look like shipping 1 or 2. I think if we'd have been a bit more clinical last week, we maybe would have scored 1 past them as well. So, yeah, they're very hard to break down, but again, they don't offer a lot going the other way. So, yeah, I'll be quite disappointed as a Charlton fan. They don't look like they're going to score. They're not creating any chances. And Charlton fans don't walk out of games and go, "Oh my God, how have we not scored 3 or 4?" Charlton fans are like, "How we've not scored?" I can completely understand why.
You've got to win in that style of play. You've got like Duff. I said yesterday, as soon as Duff goes on a 3 or 4 game run where they don't win, questions will be asked. Charlie Adams getting the same at the minute. He's won 1 in 10. I know this is not League One, but questions got to be asked when you're not playing well. You know, it's a sustained period.
Yeah, Nathan Jones is certainly under pressure. I think, like I said to you last week, I was joining this chat with the Charlton fans, and they were wanting Nathan Jones to leave. So, I think that comes with managing at a bigger club at the level as well. So, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. But yeah, good point on the road for Mansfield. Charlton will be thinking maybe they should be winning games like that against Mansfield.
I got asked would Nigel Clough be sacked, and I just laughed. It's a bit like the Des situation. You'd have taken the situation at the start of the year. They're playing tough sides now. You know, they're playing sides that you probably wouldn't have them to beat. They beat the sides around them, and this was a free hit. But again, you have a shot on target. So that's credit to Charlton. They are good defensively, but fans don't want to see that. You know what I mean? It's like Peterborough. They go home happy and worth the money. Do you know what I mean? Because you're winning games, and even if you're losing 3-2, 2-1. You know, it's a competitive game. Ben, absolutely hit like and hit subscribe. It'd be unbelievable. So if you haven't pressed it, it would be greatly appreciated if you could hit subscribe. Go on then, predictions. Talk me through it.
I've been counting them up since we've been on, and I can reveal to you, Ben, that the gap has closed to under 10 points now.
I thought it was 8 points last time.
No, right, yeah. So last time it's been a big gap for quite a while. So this weekend, most recently, Ben, you got 6 points and I got 10. So I predicted 2 correct scores, whereas you got just the 1 in Exeter versus Barnsley. But we've only got 1 game week to do. I know the darts are. So the points at the moment are Ben 167, Jake 158.
So I'm 9 points.
So 9 points in front.
Nearly as many points as Shrewsbury and Burton this season.
Right, you go steady because we have fans of those clubs involved. Right, Ben.
It's not my fault you've got more points on your driving license and they've got points this season, is it?
I don't have any points on my driving license, Ben. I'm a good driver. Thank you. Ben, I can't remember who went first last week. I think it was you, wasn't it?
No, it was you. It was
Wait a
you.
minute.
It was 100%
Wait
you.
a minute. I'm going to VAR check this.
No, it was you, 100%. It was you, 100%. It was me, 100%. I don't go, what he come back at me? It was him, 100%. Because he nicked like 5 of my predictions. Come back at me.
It was you. It was you. It was you. I'm watching it. You did this round of fixtures first. It was you.
All right, whatever.
I'm watching the video, mate. Look.
What was that notification that's just come up?
3-1
Wycombe. Wait.
Stevenage, Stockport. At the Borough. 2-0 Stockport.
Oh, who went first?
I didn't hear it, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going first. You can absolutely stick it. Cambridge versus Huddersfield. I'm going to go Cambridge 1, Huddersfield Town 2.
Cambridge 0, Huddersfield 2.
Stockport versus Peterborough. These games are all on Friday night, by the way. Stockport versus Peterborough. I'm going to go Stockport 2, Peterborough 1.
2-0 Peterborough.
2-0 posh. Wycombe Wanderers hosting Bolton Wanderers. Obviously, they'll be without Aaron Morley, won't they? So I think this might affect them. We're going to go 1 apiece.
2-0 Wycombe.
Moving on
Just
to
you,
Saturday.
Amy.
Moving on to Saturday's fixtures. Bristol Rovers are hosting Wrexham. I'm going to go Gas 0, Wrexham 2.
3-0. No, hang on. You'll have a new manager in. 1-1. They'll have a new manager in 1-1.
What, they'll have a new manager in by Saturday, you reckon?
There's normally a reaction. 1-1.
Another early kickoff for Lincoln City as they host Reading, which means it will be Lincoln City 0, Reading 0.
Lincoln 2, Reading 1.
Oh, don't do this to me, Ben. Don't do this. Barnsley versus Leyton Orient. I'm going to go Barnsley 2, Orient 0.
I have got some news as well I'd like to share at the end of this stream as well.
Yes, we can do that. We can do that in a minute.
Some great news. What's that? What was the game?
You're as bad as Jack Ward, mate.
What was the
Barnsley
game?
Orient, mate, and I went 2-0 Barnsley.
2-1 Barnsley.
Christ.
Did you know on this day last year, Adam Phillips scored his first League One goal of last season as well against Charlton in a 1-1 draw?
I did know
there you
that.
are.
Was that what you had to tell me, or?
No.
Okay.
I don't have anything to tell you.
Blackpool versus Stevenage. I'm going to go Blackpool 2, Stevenage 0.
2-1 Blackpool.
Nearly just spilt my drink all over my mat. That would have been a problem.
Burton
versus Exeter. I'm going to go Burton 0, Exeter 0.
Burton 2, Exeter 1.
Ooh, interesting.
This is winnable.
Mansfield Town versus Rotherham United. The return of Steve Evans to
I know what I'm going with.
Mansfield 1, Rotherham 1.
Mansfield 0, Rotherham 1.
Fantastic. Northampton, the Cobblers taking on Charlton at Sixfields. I'm going to go Northampton 1, Charlton 0.
1-1.
1-1. And your favourite Ticks, they're taking on Shrewsbury. That's Ticks of a C taking on Shrewsbury at the Brick Community Stadium, as Barry Worthington calls it. So I'm going to go for Wigan 2, Shrewsbury 0.
2-1, Wigan.
And then Monday night, Ben, big game. I assume it's on Sky. Crawley Town hosting Birmingham City in what feels like an FA Cup tie, but it isn't, which is weird. Just you hold your horses, mate. Crawley 1, Birmingham 3.
You utter scar! I wanted to. I had 3-1.
Sorry,
3-0. 3-0. I'm going to say 3-0 until they win 3-0.
Okay. Well, there you are. That's
my
your
fault
predictions.
yesterday.
There's your predictions. Ben, just a quick one. we'll have a show before Christmas, I would assume.
We will as well, yes. But
So we're gonna go. What day are we gonna go? Are we gonna do Christmas Eve?
I was thinking the 22nd of December. We can do another
So
one
we do it-
Christmas Eve if you want, but
Well, I'm just thinking. We might as well hold back until the we
I'm
might as well
thinking
hold back
22nd.
until the Birmingham game, haven't we? We might
When's
as
the
well hold
Birmingham
back
game?
on Monday the 23rd.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I think do one on the 22nd. We'll be fine. We can have a
Okay.
preview.
All right. Well, Birmingham clearly aren't that important.
They are. Also, some news. So, anyone who watches
Oh, is it
my
about
vlog,
a DJ?
Campbell.
DJ Campbell. What's it about? Go on.
Some news. So next week, my vlogs might not be the same as you once saw it. So
That's ominous.
I think I can say it. I have been asked to do co-commentary by BBC
yes.
Radio Lancashire on the game on Saturday. And I agreed to do it. So I'm going to be in the press box and I'm going to put like a tripod and a camera on my view from the commentary box. So it's going to be very different. But yeah, I'm buzzing to get the opportunity. So thank you for everyone that listens and makes it possible as well. I'm nervous, to be fair. I wasn't nervous, but I'm nervous, to be fair. And it's going to be different. But hopefully, I do all right. So yeah, buzzing for that.
Good. I'm very proud of you, Ben.
Could you put a bit more effort into that and listen to me when you're speaking?
Sorry, Ben. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm proud of you. I told you I was
proud. There's not many Lincoln fans that will be proud of Nappers after getting a gig on BBC Radio.
Just steady, because we have to address him still, don't we? We have to respect him. It was a long old day, but well done, Ben. Very proud of you. You're the early kickoff, aren't you, on Saturday away at Barrow?
Yeah, 0-0.
So I would be listening out. However, I will be watching Lincoln also draw 0-0 with Reading. So I will be a little bit preoccupied. But I would, if I was at home, Ben, you have my word, I would be tuning in to BBC Radio Lancashire. As I'm sure everybody here in this chat, it's pointless to them because they don't know that it's here. But everyone here, all these names, you see all these names here, Ben?
Yeah.
See him? Yeah, they should all be tuning in, really, shouldn't they?
Dodgy box, you'll be fine. Just go to Fleetwood Town, you'll be fine. You can listen in.
I've had one or two of those in my life, Ben.
Unless police come around to your house. Yeah, so thank you very much. Thanks for everyone that's watched, liked. If you could subscribe. Yeah, I know I'm missing Jermaine What I Mean in Masterclass. If you could watch, like, subscribe, all that jazz, that'd be unbelievable. We're getting closer to 16,100 now, so plenty of content now in the next few weeks. And yeah, Jake, any final words, mate?
Thanks for having me on, mate. Really enjoyed it. As always, nice to spend the weekend with you, Ben. Nice meal out. Lovely to see you. Beat you at five-a-side. Yeah, it's good, mate. Good weekend.
Cheers, mate. And thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit us a like on the way out. Subscribe on your way out for the League One content. We do this every single week, unless Jake's ill, which is...
I will not be ill, Ben.
Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you later. Up the sky, that League One. Come on now.
Up the imps. Come on. Cheers all.
Bye all.
You look nice, Jackie.
You look horrific.
Oh mate, I'm fuming with you.